47's got his foot-long dog in hand, and Easy's double-fisting beers. It's definitely baseball season.
Welcome to the Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show.
Welcome, fans, to another episode of The Spread. I'm your host, Jim Sella, in studio with J-Dash, JK47, and Big Easy, all here to make my job easier today. Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's because you know nothing about baseball, correct?
I know enough.
You refuse to enjoy baseball.
I
That's
know
the
all
problem.
I need to know, that the Pirates don't care about winning.
Okay.
They just care about money.
How many teams made the playoffs the past 3 seasons? I forget.
I didn't keep track.
Oh, yeah. It's 3. The Dodgers, the Cardinals, and the Pirates.
Nice stat.
And
All
how
right.
many playoff series did the Pirates win?
1.
None.
I guess it's a 1-game series, but they won it.
It's not. It doesn't count.
Oh, it counts.
Not as a series.
We're talking about the Tampa Bay Rays, though, because Jim cannot get off the Pirates, just to let you people know.
I just like to rip on them, man. That's all. But go ahead, go with the Rays. I won't rip on them as much.
Well, let's start with their signings. And a former Pirate, first baseman Steve Pearce. He can also play a little bit of second base, I guess. You could put him in the outfield at a corner spot, maybe.
Never heard of him.
Steve Pearce?
Dude's garbage.
What was he? What was he?
Played for Baltimore last season.
Oh, okay, that guy.
Yeah. And that's the only signing they really made. They made a couple trades as well. They traded for Logan Morrison. He could play some first base. He's going to play some DH as well. Brad Miller came over in that trade. Obviously, they lost as Drupal Cabrera to free agency. So Brad Miller is going to be their starting shortstop. This is a guy, he has a pretty decent bat, but he's never really put it all together yet. Outside of, I believe it was his rookie season. He had a pretty decent rookie season, then hasn't really lived up to it since. But they're going to give him a chance at shortstop. And then they brought in a pretty good reliever, Danny Farquhar from Seattle. All these guys came from Seattle. They gave up a pretty good pitcher, though, in Nathan Carnes for him.
The other was Wilhelmsen that got
Traded?
yeah.
No, Nathan Carnes was traded to Seattle for those 3 players.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, you're right.
Yes, I know. Now, they also
challenges
just made another trade as well. They gave up a pretty good reliever in Jake McGee to Colorado, but they brought in Corey Dickerson from Colorado, a pretty good outfielder, along with Kevin Padlo, a third baseman. There's nothing big there, but Corey Dickerson was the main piece of this deal coming into Tampa Bay. But you also got to ask, well, what are they trying to do with their bullpen? They have Boxberger closer still. Like I said, they brought in Farquhar in that trade for Nathan Carnes. But outside of that, I mean, Alex Colom's out there. Steven Geltz, I mean, their bullpen looks a little shaky at this point, so we'll have to see. What they lost, like I said, they lost this Drupal Cabrera. They're filling that spot with Brad Miller. And they also lost their DH from last season, / catcher. He played a little bit of catcher, John Jaso. He went over to the Pirates in free agency as well. So what you got here, you still got your guy at third base, Evan Longoria. He's not the beast that he used to be, but he's still a pretty good player, a good hitter. Like I said, Brad Miller at shortstop. He still needs to put everything together to be a valuable player. You may see him splitting some time with someone else like Beckham or Nick Franklin out there. They do have some young shortstops that could replace Miller if he doesn't work out. Second base, Logan Forsythe is right now listed as their starting second baseman. So they could definitely do something at second base for an upgrade, I would believe. James Loney at first base, not a beast or anything, but has always been a pretty reliable player, a pretty good hitter without the power, and a pretty good defensive first baseman as well. Like I said, they also have Logan Morrison that can play there, Steve Pearce. So they have options at first base. And Logan Morrison, he's probably going to be their regular DH when he's not on the field as well. So not a terrible DH, a guy that can hit, but still a guy that really hasn't put it all together in more than one season maybe. I mean, there's something about Logan Morrison where everybody thought he was going to be really good, and he is a decent player, but he's just never put it all together yet. And then at catcher, they have Rene Rivera, Hank Conger. I mean, their catcher position, a little shaky as well.
How long's it been since the Rays made the playoffs? Feels like forever.
Yeah, it has been a while, but they do have some nice pieces in the minor league system that should be coming up within the next year or two as well. But in the outfield, like I said, they brought in Corey Dickerson in left field. That's a pretty good left fielder right there. Kevin Kiermaier, a guy they really like out there in Tampa, had a pretty good season for him last year. They're going to be starting him in center field. And then Steven Souza Jr. is going to start in right field most likely. This is a guy that had a lot of power in the minors. He struck out a lot, though, and people thought he might not be able to keep his average up in the big leagues, and that is a problem he's having right now, is it really just being a consistent hitter. He still has that power, has a little bit of speed, but he's going to have to get a better batter's eye if he wants to remain a starter long term. They also have Desmond Jennings as the fourth outfielder out there right now, and like I said, Steve Pearce, Logan Morrison can play in the outfield, so they have a lot of options out there. So while there may not be the beast offensively, Evan Longoria may be your best offensive player. It seems like a pretty deep team, if nothing else.
I don't know. I kind of lean towards Corey Dickerson being the bat of the lineup.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't mind that either. Corey Dickerson, he's a younger guy than Longoria, obviously. Now, we'll have to see if his offense carries over from Colorado to Tampa Bay. Obviously, hitting in Colorado is a fun thing to do for hitters. We're going to have to see if it carries over to Tampa Bay. I mean, this is a good division for him to go to because he's still going to be playing in a lot of hitters' parks, obviously. But, yeah, I'm with you. Corey Dickerson could definitely be that guy.
Well, I mean, it certainly would go a long way for him. They're going to pitch. There's no question about it. It's just a matter of how much runs they're going to score.
Yeah, their rotation looks pretty good to me. I mean, you got Chris Archer at the top of the rotation, 47. You said before the year last season that he was going to step up and have a huge year, and he really did do that. Now, they have Alex Cobb, but he's not going to be back until August. But outside of that, you got Odorizzi. That'd be a great number 2, number 3 pitcher for you. Drew Smiley's a good number 3 pitcher at least. And then if Moore can ever do what he is supposed to do, this guy has been injured a lot in his career. If Matt Moore can step up and be that pitcher that everybody thought he could be at one time, I mean, this rotation could look very good when Cobb comes back from top to bottom. I mean, it's almost like you got a 1 and a 2 and then 3 threes right there. Plus, they have Erasmo Ramirez until Alex Cobb comes back. That's more of a number 5 pitcher right there. But once Cobb comes back, I do like this rotation.
Not that it has much to do with their on-field play this year, but I keep reading that they're struggling to get funding to get a new stadium because, was it Tropicana Field or whatever the hell they play is just falling apart.
Aside from that, it's not a very good place to play.
No fun, huh?
Well, I mean, you got balls in play hitting the catwalks and bouncing around, and you don't know where
They're serving orange juice instead of beer. It's no fun.
I do like orange juice. I bring a little vodka.
So where's their weaknesses, 47? What do you think their biggest weakness is offensively?
It's got to be offensively. I mean,
what part of the offense?
I'm going to say contact.
Contact? Well,
Yeah.
James Loney's a pretty decent contact.
Well, yeah,
hitter.
James Loney is. I mean, Longoria, if he could ever at least be maybe, well, I'm not going to say he's not half of what he was, but I mean, the days of high averages for him, or at least decent averages, are gone, I think. But I mean, it's going to be being on base. You know, I mean, Kiermaier's a great player. I mean, he does have some pop, actually, but...
Yeah, there's a lot of questions with him, too, though. I mean, this whole outfield got a little bit of questions. Can Sousa step up, be the guy that they thought he could be coming out of the minors? Can Kiermaier repeat what he did? Corey Dickerson, what's he going to look like coming over from Colorado to Tampa Bay? Brad Miller, can he put it together at shortstop? Logan Forsythe, I mean, he's not a guy with that much upside, so that's the one position I think that could be upgraded right now if you really wanted to upgrade something. But James Loney, Evan Longoria, you kind of know what they're going to give you.
I will say this. I mean, Forsythe did put up a nice season last year.
Yeah, he's not a terrible player. He definitely, I think he's more of a utility type player, a guy that should get a lot of playing time during the season but not be your starter. You know what I mean?
All right, now he's projected to have a better offensive output than your boy Desmond Jennings and James Loney.
Really? They put him over James Loney? Well,
on some computer statistical style BS.
I see Desmond Jennings. I mean, Jennings is going to be their fourth outfielder this season. This is a guy that had a lot of upside at one time too, but really never put it together. He was never supposed to be necessarily a star, but he was supposed to be a good starting player for him, and he really hasn't worked out, and he's starting to move towards the bench now. But Logan Forsythe, I mean, yeah, you're right. He can have a pretty decent season at the plate, I guess. But he's just the guy, when I look at this lineup, he's the guy I almost trust the least. Maybe Rene Rivera at catcher. might be able to do a little something more there. But all in all, I mean, it's a pretty solid team, I guess. I don't expect them to compete for the division necessarily. But if this pitching staff puts it together like they hope they can, I mean, they definitely could compete because, I mean, from 1 through 5, like I said, it looks pretty good.
I'll agree. They're a scrappy baseball team too.
And
they have nothing to lose.
Let's not forget too, in the minor leagues, they have a starting pitcher, one of the top prospects, Blake Snell. He's left-handed, 6'4", 180 pounds. This guy pitched very well between advanced AA and AAA last season, so they were moving him pretty fast. He had a 141 ERA and 134 innings pitched, just 84 hits and 163 Ks. Now he did have 53 walks. That's a little bit higher than you want. But if this guy can put on a little bit more weight, 10, 15 pounds, I think he can be a very durable, top end of the rotation type guy. And that's only going to add to this rotation that already looks beast to me. And I do expect to see him this season and remain a starter and be in the rotation for the long term for Tampa Bay. And then they got Brent Honeywell. You'll probably see him in 2017 or 18 more likely. But, I mean, he could rise fast as well. He's a pretty good pitcher, 6'2", 180 pounds. He's a righty. He had a 3.18 ERA last year between A full and A advanced. Like I said, I expect him maybe 2017 at the earliest. And then there's this other pitcher that nobody really talks about. He was playing for Minnesota last season. For some reason, they got rid of him and he went to Tampa Bay. He's pitched mostly at A advanced so far, but he did make one start at AAA, I believe, maybe 2 starts at AAA last season. Then they took him back down to A advanced. I don't know what that was all about, but his name's Chai Wee Hu. They call him Mr. Who. Maybe 2017's a better time estimate for him, but he does nothing but pitch well. And he has 2.74 career ERA in the minor leagues since 2013. Every time I look up this guy, he's doing nothing but pitching well. I think this guy is going to be a beast. Maybe he's not going to be a top end of the rotation guy, but I could see him as a very, very good number 2, and I'd keep an eye on him. And then they got a shortstop, Daniel Robertson. He hit .310 with a .402 on base percentage in 2014 in A advanced, had 15 home runs, 72 walks compared to 94 Ks in 548 at bats. But last season, he didn't play a full season, just 299 at bats, hit .274 with still a .363 on base. Didn't show the power, just 4 home runs, but he still took a good amount of walks with 33. Didn't K too much, 58 Ks. This was in AA last season. So while you may say, oh, they may want to wait a season for him, see what he does in AAA, they have a higher prospect named Willie Adames at the shortstop position for him. So they may want to try to rush Daniel Robertson a little bit, see what he has before they decide if they want to move on from him and make Adames their full-time shortstop. So you may see Daniel Robertson move a little bit faster this season and get some time in the big leagues, maybe in September or something, maybe a little bit before that as well. What are you thinking about this team, though?
They could finish anywhere from 3rd to 5th, and it wouldn't surprise me.
No chance for 2nd?
I mean, if they can hit, maybe. But, I mean, the pitching is going to be good, no doubt about that. But
if they can stay healthy. Got to stay healthy, obviously.
Just drink milk instead of beer.
That's it.
I could see about playing maybe Baltimore, but not Toronto, New York, or Boston.
So 4th place, you're going to say?
That's their ceiling's number 3. I think 4 is pretty much a more realistic possibility, yes. I think they're better than Baltimore.
Easy, what do you think? Listen, if Blake Snell comes up, though, man, this rotation is going to be so beast.
I'm going to have to agree with Jeff a little bit. I mean, it's just like we mentioned in the Toronto segment, it's just a tough division. I can see him 3rd place. It's all going to really depend on their offense, if you ask me. I'm not worrying about their pitching staff. Are they going to be able to put up the numbers division-wise when they play these teams?
See, that's a tough thing. This division is built around the home run,
right?
And they really just don't have it.
I don't see it either.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. It'll be interesting.
I'm going to agree. I'm going to say 4th place is where they end up. Maybe even 5th. I mean, Baltimore, they have a shot to do something this year as well.
Yeah,
you know
they got a power.
I mean, they gave Chris Davis a 30-year deal recently.
30? You mean 30 million?
No, I mean like 30-year deal, man.
30 years.
Pulled a Bobby Bonilla, dude.
Yeah, they pull one of those Bobby Bonillas where they're going to pay him for the 7 years he plays, and then they're going to pay him for the next like 25 years after that as well.
Ugh.
Stupid ass.
Ball. Ball till you fall.
Please believe.
Wrap it.
Anything else, Dash?
No, I think that's all the move. Tampa fans, if there's any moves I left out or
Right.
if there's any minor leaguers that you think can make an impact this season, let us know.
And what do you think? Are you getting a new stadium or what's going on down there? Oh, boy, you were close to Tampa one time, weren't you?
Yeah.
So you like it there, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice there. I didn't go into the stadium or anything, though.
Well, let us know.
Drank a lot of OJ. Fans, hit us up on Twitter at bet_the_spread. Hit me up on Twitter at betjimthewin. Check out the Facebook page at facebook.com/betthespread. If we get 100 tweets, Dash said he'll start his own Twitter account. So start blowing it up. Oh yeah, come back to YouTube and click subscribe.